Yes, fall is here and all the trappings, all the pumpkin spice things, right? And that means that the leaves will start changing soon, or maybe you're already seeing a few peeps of color in your neighborhood. WFMY News 2 meteorologist Christian Morgan explained how the leaves change on the Good Morning Show today.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, especially with the cooler weather on the way, people are thinking about maybe planning their trips to the mountains and the popular spots to see the fall color. So let's talk about when they change. Now, we don't have a lot of color here yet, but you'll notice the color is inching closer and closer to us. And in fact, we're starting to see some good hints of color in the highest peaks of the North Carolina mountains. That will be between about 4,000 and 5,000 feet, just in the sort of the tip tops of Grandfather Mountain, if you want a little perspective there. However, as we go throughout the next several days, I think we're likely going to see that really improve, especially with those chilly nights on the way, the sunny, cool days. That really gets the transition going pretty well. And usually we see peak color in this area in the second to third week of October. So when we look at how we've been so far on the year, we've had pretty much average temperatures. We've had pretty much average rainfall. We've had no super cold, no super hot, no big dousing of rain. We have been a bit wet at times, but overall, I think we're pretty much on time for a pretty normal average leaf season here in the Carolinas. And one other thing is that we haven't had a tropical storm or any big windstorm to sort of knock the leaves off the tree. So the trees should be plentiful and they should be very colorful. Normal peak in those North Carolina mountain towns, especially Grandfather Mountain, Mount Mitchell, the higher peaks, usually in late September, early October, where we are right now. The Boones, the Blowing Rocks, those folks are a little bit later. Second to third week of October is usually when we see that peak fall color in those areas. Of course, Asheville, since it's down in the valley, is a little bit later than that. But for us, Piedmont Triad, it's a little bit later as we move further down in elevation. Usually late October, early November is when we start to see really good color and peak season here in the Piedmont.
All right, now that we know when we can expect the beautiful colors, Tim, I know that I'm excited that it's just going to feel like it's fall this weekend.
And Tanya, that has something to do with the change too. Even just a couple nights that really chill down can kind of accelerate that color change. So it'll be interesting to see once we get to Sunday and Monday, what happens to those leaves, especially up in the North Carolina mountains. Days like today, they kind of pause everything, right? We were warm, still right around 80, and that can delay the color change a little bit. Now, as far as rain potential goes, I'm really not seeing any for us. Right now, all of it is in the middle of the country. It is associated with that cold front, which is getting closer to our area, but we will not see it tomorrow. We also won't really see it on Friday. By the time the weekend rolls around, that front slides by early Saturday morning. There will be a quick shot at a passing shower or two, but nothing significant. The main idea for the weekend is this. Notice only at 68 Saturday afternoon, but this is the key. Those chilly mornings can really activate that change inside the leaves, and that 44 degrees is going to be pretty significant. Take a look. There are low temperatures I'm forecasting for your neighborhoods. If you're up in Boone, yikes, 34. Maybe a couple frosty pumpkins up there. Same thing for Monday morning. We're in the low 40s locally. That's some chill for us for sure in our coldest weather since early in May, several months ago. Now, this is not permanent. We will be warming up again by the middle of next week, and that's kind of the way fall works. It's not all constant. There are ups and downs, and we're going to see some over the next week.
Of course, there's plenty of fun events to take part in around the Triad with the cooler weather, the leaves changing. With Halloween coming up, it's time to get your scare on maybe. Haunted places in the Triad like Spooky Woods and Woods of Terror will definitely give you a fright. Plus, you can head down to Charlotte to check out the Scarowinds event at Carowinds. Now, if you're looking for something a little less terrifying and a little touchy-feely, you might want to visit a pumpkin patch, hayride, or a corn maze. There's quite a few in our area. You can find a full list on our website, WFMYnews2.com. Or you know what? Here's something even easier. Just text the word fall to 336-379-5775. We'll respond back with a link to fall events in our area. And of course, there's always the Woolly Worm Festival. You can enter the contest, cheer on your worm to win that race. It's ridiculous and so fun. According to the legend, woolly bear caterpillars have 13 brown and black segments. The lighter the segment, the milder the winter weather. Is the legend true? But the worms can tell you what the previous winter was like. Biologist Frank Fowler of McNeely Pest Control explains.
There's been a lot of studies, a lot of folklore about the woolly bear, and no studies have ever concluded that they actually can predict future weather events. However, the coloration and the length of the bands do have a correlation to how severe the previous winter was. when they're born in the spring, they're all black, and the more warm growing season they have, the wider that brown rust-colored band becomes in the middle.
All right, so if it was a really cold, really like wet and snowy winter, then you're not going to see so much brown. But if it was a warm winter, then you see a caterpillar that has a whole lot more brown. That's interesting. All right, the festival starts October 21st. It is in Banner Elk.